Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 favorite foundations. I am really excited to be sharing this edit with you. These are all the foundations that I fall back on, the ones that I know I can rely on. So before we get into it, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It would mean so much to me, and let's get to it. So I just wanted to quickly apologize for the weird lighting today. I'm heavily relying on my ring light since it is sunset. I might have to invest in some other lighting over the winter, but for the foundations, I'm not going in order of favorites. I think I'm going to start off with the lightest coverage foundations, moving on to the highest of coverage. So I'm first going to start off with this one. This one's basically water with just a drop of pigment in it. It's the Glossier Skin Tint. For me, this is a collection staple. I find this product to be very versatile. I use it in so many different ways. I do really love using it on its own, especially in the summertime or if I'm on vacation in a hotter climate and I don't want my makeup to slip off during the day. I find that this wears very beautifully and it just allows my skin to act like skin. I love how it corrects slight redness and adds a ton of dewy goodness to my skin, but I also love mixing this into my higher coverage foundations or foundations I want to add a little bit more glow to or to sheer them out. I personally don't like shearing out my foundations with moisturizer or primers. I feel like that's the one-way ticket to breakout city for me, just because moisturizers are formulated to soak into the skin and I don't want the moisturizer to bring in that foundation with it. I think that's what goes wrong with me in that. Just wanted to throw this one in here. I love this stuff so much. I see myself having this in my collection forever. Love it. Moving on, this is a very new one to me. I started trying this out this month, but I already know it's a favorite because on an everyday basis, I reach for this the most. This is the Daydream Cushion from M Cosmetics. This is a beautiful product. This isn't the one I've been using right now. This is the lightest one that I have, but it comes with this little teardrop cushion, which I really like. And then you open it up here and there's the cute little cushion. I love this formula very much because it does have like the perfect amount of coverage where it still looks like a skin tint, but it still corrects a lot of my problem areas, like my healing acne scars or slight redness. It almost just adds this smoothing filter and it's so effective. Your skin still just looks like skin with moisturizer on it, but it is corrected. It's beautiful and it's amazing because it has SPF 50 in it, which I adore. This is the first cushion foundation I have ever tried. I know from researching other ones, most of the time the little cushion is just round, but I really love this teardrop shape because you can really get into your inner corner of your eyes or in the crevices of your nose and all the tighter areas of your face very easily without having to go in with a finger or a brush or anything like that. I thoroughly love this product and this has been the foundation I reach for every day if I'm going to appointments or a grocery store or anything like that and I just want to smoothen out my complexion. This is my favorite. It's stunning. Next, moving along, this is a newer one to me as well. I've been trying it out, I would say, for the last month and a half or even 2 months. It's the Sephora S Clean Glowing Skin Foundation. As a side note, I will have all of the foundation shades that I use in the description box, so please check that out if you're curious to know what colors I use. But anyways, I really love this one because it feels like skincare almost. I don't find that it looks like a foundation on my skin at all. It blends in seamlessly and it also has a beautiful buildable coverage, which I have been liking lately since I have been dealing with some breakouts here and there. This is a great one that still looks super natural. Whenever I say supernatural, I always think of like aliens. Anyways, I love the finish of this one. It's not so glowy. It's just like a nice satin finish that is very adjustable. If you want to make it matte, you can very easily, or if you want to make it dewier, you can easily do that as well. I think it's the perfect in-between texture. I just adore this stuff. It's very easy to work with. This is one of the quickest foundations I would say that I have. It takes no time to blend it out and it is flawless each time. So yes, this guy, another huge favorite. Moving along, I wanted to talk about the JULIAA True Skin Serum Foundation. I really like this one. It's super lightweight, but I also adore how this one makes my skin look airbrushed, even though it has a light to medium coverage. This one is another one that I love to reach for in the summertime or if I'm on vacation in a hotter climate. It works beautifully. I find that it just allows my skin to do what it needs to do, but it still makes my skin look flawless throughout the day. I love how skin-like this one is. It allows my skin to shine through, but it overall looks very softened. I just really love this one. I fall back on it quite a bit. So now moving on, I have two of my favorite drugstore foundations here, starting off with the Milani Screen Queen. I will say probably one of my top 3 favorites out of all of these ones. This foundation is the most reliable. I find that this one works with any primer I put on underneath. I love its texture. It's the perfect satin finish, so it's great if you want to make it matte or glowy. I think a majority of people would really love this if they tried it. It's super easy to work with, blends out flawlessly, looks amazing using a brush or a sponge or any technique you like the best. This works flawlessly. I know this is one of my top favorites because I have 3 of them in my collection to match any point of my skin. I have one for my summer skin, my winter skin, and a shade for in between those times when I'm fading. So I just love this one. This foundation in particular works amazingly with a little bit of the glossy skin tint mixed into it. I love that combination. I have so many videos on my channel using this alone or with that combo. I realized I was using this too much in my videos. I had to physically hide it in the back of my drawer so I wouldn't reach for it every day. You guys are probably tired of me talking about this one, but I can't shut up about it. It's so fantastic. This foundation works like a high-end foundation, and honestly it works a lot better than some of the higher end foundations as well. Like this one is right in between my Garland Lesson and my Pat McGrath. So this is a kick-ass foundation. Milani, you killed it. The other drugstore favorite of mine is this one from Quo Beauty. It's the Light Illusion. I really like this one because it is so glowy. This one is definitely on the dewier side, and I also find this one to be a good light to medium coverage depending on how much you apply. I really like how it looks just at a lighter coverage moment. This is one foundation that I do have to set my forehead and the center of my face with, or else I find that I look a little bit greasy, but on the rest of my face it is stunning. It has a really nice texture. It almost feels more like a serum texture. It's fantastic and I love it so much. Moving on, I'm going to be talking about my #1 favorite foundation ever. It's the Garland Lesson foundation. I don't know what it is about this foundation. It just looks amazing despite any condition. I don't know what kind of magic they used for this, but it's fantastic. This is probably the foundation that has been featured in the most videos on my channel. I really love how it has a natural glow to it. I find that this one has the best wearing time for me. I find that it's very long wearing and it looks the best throughout the day. So this is the one that I reach for the most, especially if I know I'm having a really long day and I need my makeup to really stay put and not change throughout the day. This is my fallback one. I will say that there is a fragrance in here, but it's not as heavily fragranced as most of the Garland products. I'm just gonna keep it short just because I've talked about this foundation for years and I feel like I've said everything I can about it in every one of my videos. Moving on, this is the foundation I'm wearing today, and it is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I love this one so very much. I find it to be very unique for a foundation. It is such a thin consistency, like when you squirt it on the back of your hand, it's very liquidy, but it also has a lot of coverage running through it, which is crazy. I would say that this foundation has a solid medium coverage to it, but I like to go in with minimal product just to make it more of a lightweight, more of a light coverage, which you can totally adjust to. It's very customizable, and if you like a full coverage vibe, you can totally work it up to that, but I would say that it is a solid medium. I would say that this is my 3rd favorite, first one being the Garland, then Milani Screen Queen, then this one would come 3rd. It is just so solid. It's one that I turn to if I'm struggling with my makeup that day, just because it wears so beautifully and it wears really thin, so it never ever looks cakey whatsoever. Plus this bottle is so freaking cute. It looks like a bougie bottle of perfume. I just adore having this on my countertop or just pulling this out. It just feels like a nice luxurious moment, and I think that's important for some days, especially if you're feeling down or something. I think it's really fun to have those more luxurious products to make you feel a little bit better. This is totally one of those products for me. It's beautiful. The only downside to it is its freaking price. This is $90 Canadian, which hurts my soul. I find it really hard to spend that much money on a foundation just because it's not like the most exciting thing ever to buy, but honestly I do see myself repurchasing this time and time again because of the way it makes me feel and also how it makes my skin look. It's just one of those products where I'm gonna have to bite the bullet even though I hate its price. McGrath, why? Now moving on to my last two. So I'm first going to talk about the Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the only full coverage foundation I have ever liked on my skin. I find that this one just looks like skin, even though it has the fullest coverage ever. I don't know what it is. I always loved the look of full coverage on other people, but whenever I would try it on myself, I just wouldn't like the look until this one came around. This is a fantastic formula because it doesn't feel heavy or cakey on the skin. I don't even know what to say about it. It feels weird for me to talk about a full coverage foundation. I do have to pick up a lighter shade because this particular shade is definitely for me when I'm at my tannest point in the summertime. But the last foundation I have to talk about is this Quo Beauty one, and I find that this one is very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury one. It wears the same texture, feels very comfortable as well. Sadly, Quo is only sold in Canada because it is a Shoppers Drug Mart exclusive, so I just wanted to throw that in here for the Canadians. This is a great dupe and much cheaper. That is, I guess, kind of an honorable mention, but I also really adore this one. So that wraps up all of my favorite foundations. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments down below. It would help me out so very much. I'll make sure to link all of these foundations in the description down below as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye. That was a bad bye. Bye.